So when you are considering about the capacitors, in our last class, we have studied about the introduction. See, what is a capacitor? Capacitor is a device to store electrical charges and electrical energy. When you are considering that capacitor, the capacitor, in that capacitor, capacitance is the phenomenon or the process. That is the ability of the capacitor to store the charges. When you are considering a capacitor, in general, we are stating the capacitor as a parallel plate capacitor. What do you mean by this parallel plate capacitor? A parallel plate capacitor essentially consists of two conducting spheres separated by a small distance with a small insulating material or with some insulating material in between. So two conducting plates which are kept parallel to each other with some dielectric like air medium or mica, paper, wood pulp, oil or glass. Some dielectric is being placed in between the two parallel plates separated by a small distance d, constitutes a parallel plate capacitor. In that parallel plate capacitor, the capacitance is the phenomenon which indicates the ability of the charges to store in it. When you are considering the capacitor, it can able to store electrical charges as well as electrical energy. But it was proved experimentally that in a capacitor or in a conductor, the charge given to it is directly proportional to the potential developed in it. As you are giving more and more charges to the capacitor or to the conductor, the potential available in that capacitor or the potential available in the conductor go on increases. So I have written it like here. Q directly proportional to it, which is experimentally proved. On removing this proportionality, I have to introduce a constant. So the constant introduced this C known as the capacitance of the capacitor. So we can say Q directly proportional to V. So Q equal to a constant into V. That constant is C known as the capacitance. So we can get the answer as Q equal to C into V. So C is equal to Q by V. So we can define capacitance, not capacitor. We can say the capacitance is defined as, or capacitance of the capacitor is defined as the ratio of charge to that of potential. The SI unit of capacitance is taken to be farad. So unit capacitance means 1 farad of capacitance. In this above equation, you consider the charge Q equal to 1 coulomb and potential V equal to 1 volt. That is, charge and potential are equal to unity. Then capacitance is also considered to be unity. That is 1 farad equal to 1 coulomb divided by 1 volt. So if a charge of 1 coulomb develops a potential of 1 volt in a capacitor or in a conductor, then the potential, then the capacitance available is equal to 1 farad or it is equal to unit capacitance. See, when you are considering the capacitor or capacitance of the capacitor, we can say it depends on size and the shape of the conductor. That is, the capacitance of the capacitor or the conductor depends on its dimension. Then it depends upon the separation between the two plates, that is D. And it is also depending on the nature of the dielectric that is available in between the two parallel plates. But when you are considering the capacitance in practice, we can say farad is a larger unit. So in practice, we are using smaller units of capacitance. And that smaller units of capacitance are generally considered taken to be microfarad, picofarad, and nanofarad. 1 microfarad is 10 power minus 6 farad, 1 picofarad 10 power minus 12 farad, and 1 nanofarad 10 power minus 9 farad. And a very important concept. See, the capacitance of the capacitor depends only on the size and the shape of the conductor and not depending on the charge that was being given to the capacitor or to the conductor. We are going to get an expression for capacitance of, we are going to obtain an expression for capacitance of a or of an isolated spherical conductor. Isolated spherical conductor. So first of all, let us consider what? First of all, let us consider an spherical body or a spherical conductor. Let us take O be the center of the spherical conductor and small r be the radius of the spherical conductor. See, in order to calculate the capacitance, I am giving a charge Q to this spherical conductor. So the charge that was being given to the spherical conductor, I am considering it as Q. Already we know that if a charge is given to the spherical conductor, the charges are distributed uniformly over its surface. So usually I have told that in practice or in general, capacitance is having two plates separated by a small distance. Here we have taken only one sphere, means the other plate we have to consider earth as the other plate. So other end we are considering it as the other plate, or the earth plate is the earth. So let us take like this. Let plus Q be the charge given to, plus Q be the charge given to the spherical conductor or the isolated spherical conductor. Then for this isolated spherical conductor, let small r be the radius of the spherical conductor. So the charges that are being given to the spherical conductor are spread uniformly over its surface. So the charge Q, the charge plus Q is spread. Charge plus Q spreads over the surface uniformly, spreads over the surface uniformly. What you are going to calculate? We are going to calculate what? We are going to calculate the capacitance. We know that the capacitance of the spherical conductor is generally given by the formula Q by V. Let us take this as equation number 1. The charge given is Q. What is V? As we know that, already we have studied that charge given to the spherical conductor behaves like a point charge. In the Gauss law, we have stated that, we know that the charges are the charge given to spherical conductor, charge given to a spherical conductor, charge given to a spherical conductor behaves like a point charge, behaves like a point charge. So what is the potential at the potential on the surface of this conductor? Therefore, potential due to a point charge is given by the formula 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 into Q divided by the distance R. So let us take this as equation number 2 and substitute in equation number 1. Isn't it? You can substitute the value of equation 2 in equation 1. So substituting 2 in 1, we can get the equation for the capacitance. What is capacitance? Capacitance is Q divided by V. What is the value of V? It is 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into Q by R. So this Q and this Q will get cancelled. What will be your answer then? This 1 by 4 pi, this one will be taken to the numerator. So we can get 4 pi epsilon 0 into R is the capacitance of a parallel, capacitance of a spherical conductor. So C is equal to 4 pi epsilon 0 into R. This gives, or this equation represents the expression for, represents the expression for the capacitance of a spherical conductor. capacitance of a spherical conductor. Hope you should have understood. Suppose if here I have taken the spherical conductor is placed in air medium. Let us consider a special case. Let us take a special case. That is, if the spherical conductor is placed in some other medium, which is having a dielectric constant K or dielectric constant epsilon R, then what will be the capacitance of the spherical conductor? See, if the spherical conductor is placed in some other medium, placed in some other dielectric medium, of dielectric constant epsilon R or K, then what will happen to the capacitance? We can write capacitance is 4 pi. If it is air medium, we have put it out as epsilon 0. If it is other than air medium, then I can put epsilon into R. But we know that epsilon is equal to epsilon 0 into epsilon R, or you can write epsilon 0 into K. That is epsilon R equal to K equal to dielectric constant. Whatever the thing you need, you can put. Rendume use pannala, dielectric constant. So what will be the value of C then? C will be 4 pi. Instead of this, I can write epsilon 0, epsilon R into R. Or I can write 4 pi epsilon 0 K into R. This is called to be the capacitance of the capacitor if it is placed in some other medium other than that of air. I am considering a parallel plate capacitor. What is a parallel plate capacitor? I have to take two plates which are kept parallel to each other. The two plates are separated by a small distance d. In between the two plates, I am having air as the dielectric. Let capital A be the area of each plate. To the top plate, the charges given is taken to be positive. So let the total charge given to the plate is Q, so that the surface charge density of the plate is sigma. Then automatically the lower plate will be induced with negative charges on the near side and positive charges on the other side. So the other side is earth. So this arrangement, we are calling it out as the parallel plate capacitor. So I am writing a small description. Consider two parallel plates separated by a small distance d, separated by the small distance d. Let capital A be the area of the plates. Let capital A be the area of the plates. Let air be the dielectric medium. Air be the dielectric medium in between the two plates. Now, let sigma be the surface charge density. Let sigma be the surface charge density. If sigma is considered to be the surface charge density, then we can write sigma equal to Q by A, or the total charge that was being given is given as Q equal to sigma into A. See, as we know, the electrical field is available in between the two plates. Always the electrical field is acting from the positive terminal to negative terminal. So in between the two plates, you are having the electrical field acting in between the two plates. Since the distance between the two plates is very small, the electrical lines are parallel to each other and perpendicular to the plates. So an uniform electric field and uniform electrical field is produced or is set up in between the plates, in between the plates, because the electrical lines of forces are parallel to each other. We know that according to, Gauss law, the application of Gauss law, electrical field at a point, electrical field at a point in between, electrical field at a point in between parallel plates of charges is, parallel plates of charge is given by the formula E equal to sigma by epsilon 0. We have already studied in the application of Gauss law. Due to a plane sheet of charge means electrical field is sigma by 2 epsilon 0. If you are considering two plates which are kept parallel to each other, then in between the two plates, electrical field is sigma by epsilon 0, and outside the plates, electrical field is 0. So I have calculated using the Gauss law what is the electrical field available at a point in between the two plates of this capacitor, which is given as E equal to sigma by epsilon 0. If electrical field is known, I can able to calculate the potential difference. Again, I can say we know that modulus of electrical field is equal to V by D. Therefore, potential V is equal to E into D. What is E? We have calculated E as sigma divided by epsilon 0 into D. So the potential difference between the two plates is given by sigma D by epsilon 0. What is our task? We have to calculate the capacitance. So as capacitance is defined as capacitance is defined as, how they have defined the capacitance? Defined as C is equal to Q divided by V. What is Q? Already, if you take this as equation number 1 and this is equation number 2. From equation number 1, I can write the value of Q as sigma into A divided by, what is the value of V? The value of V, I have got it in equation number 2, given as sigma D by epsilon 0. On rearranging this equation, I can write C is equal to sigma into A into epsilon 0 divided by sigma into D. So sigma will get cancelled. Therefore, the capacitance of the parallel plate capacitor is given by epsilon 0 into A divided by D. So from this equation, it was clear that from this expression or from this equation, it is clear that capacitance is directly proportional to area. Capacitance is inversely proportional to distance and also depends upon nature of medium and nature of medium. If nature of the medium is taken to be air, then only you can able to get epsilon 0. If not, you can able to get some other value. See, for example, let us take it as a special note. See, what we have already studied, we are having two plates with area A having the charge plus sigma and minus sigma separated by a distance D. Now, the distance in between the two is replaced with a dielectric medium other than air. Dielectric medium other than air with dielectric constant epsilon R. Then what will be the capacitance? So let us take like this. Let C dash be the capacitance. Let C dash be the capacitance. If air is replaced by, some other dielectric, some air is replaced by some other dielectric of dielectric constant, either you can take it as K or epsilon R. So what will be the new capacitance? See, if I am introducing a dielectric in between the two, C becomes C dash. So C dash will be the, instead of epsilon 0, I have to put epsilon. because I have introduced some other dielectric. About the permittivity of that dielectric is epsilon. All other are same. Sigma into, sorry, epsilon into A divided by D. But what is epsilon? Epsilon can be written as epsilon 0 into epsilon r. So C dash will be epsilon 0, epsilon r into A by D. How I can write this? Epsilon 0 into A divided by D into epsilon r. All these quantities are considered to be C, the capacitance of the air medium. So C times epsilon r. So what happens when you are introducing a dielectric with the dielectric constant epsilon r? The new capacitance C dash is equal to C or epsilon r times C. That is C multiplied with the dielectric constant. This is taken to be what we have taken. This is taken to be the expression for the capacitance of the capacitor with some other dielectric which is replacing air. So what has happened actually? C dash is found to be greater than that of C as epsilon r is greater than 1. For air medium alone, dielectric constant is equal to 1. For all other dielectrics, the epsilon r is considered to be what? Epsilon r is considered to be greater than 1. So we can say that after introducing dielectric, the capacitance of the capacitor increases. But here itself we have told or we have proved the capacitance increases when you are introducing or when you are replacing air medium with some other dielectric medium. After introducing dielectric, which replaces air, then the new capacitance, is epsilon r times capacitance with the air, medium. So in general, what we can say, the capacitance increases when a dielectric is introduced. Hope you should have understood what I have told here. See, we are going to study about the combination of capacitors or grouping of capacitors. That is, what we are going to study means what are the different ways, or what are the different methods by which the different capacitors or same capacitors are connected, or capacitors can be connected. Capacitors can be connected. There are two ways by which the capacitors can be connected. One of the grouping or one of the combination, we are calling it out as series combination. And another one, we are calling it out as parallel combination. So there are two methods by which the capacitors are connected. One of the method is considered to be series combination. Another one is called to be the parallel combination. Let us consider initially the series combination. That is, the capacitors connected in series. Capacitors in series or capacitors connected in series. See, let us consider three capacitors. Let us take three capacitors. Let C1, C2, and C3 be the three capacitors connected in series to a potential difference of V volts. So how I can draw a circuit diagram then? A parallel plate capacitor is represented by putting two parallel plates or two parallel lines. In this, one of the plate is positive, another plate is negative. So I have to take three capacitors. So let us take this as C1, and I am considering the second capacitor. So one of the plate is plus, another plate is minus C2. I am considering the third capacitor, which is also having one of the plate plus and another plate as minus, taken to be C3. See, series combination means the negative plate of the first capacitor connected with the positive plate of the second capacitor. Then the negative plate of the second capacitor connected to the positive plate of the third capacitor. Like this it is going on. Negative of one plate connected to positive of the other plate. Like this it is going on. Then the combination is called to be series combination. So when you are considering the series combination, initially you are having a positive plate, means finally you will be having a negative plate. So in the series combination, across this you connect a battery or a potential difference. Let capital V be the potential difference connected across this combination. What is our task? When all these three are connected in series, we have to calculate what is the effective capacitance. To calculate the effective capacitance of the combination, we have to calculate the effective capacitance of the combination. So to calculate effective capacitance of the combination, see, when you are considering a series combination, the amount of charges that are being transferred from the negative plate of the battery to the capacitors is same. See, for example, from the negative plate, if a charge of dq coulombs is coming out, from the negative plate, the charge of electrons will be coming out. For that electrons, the charge available is dq. The charge will reach the negative plate of C3, which will be attracted by the positive plate of C3, which will be transferred again to the negative plate of C2, attracted to positive plate of C2. Then the negatively charged electron is transferred to negative plate of C1, attracted by the positive plate of C1, which finally got attracted by the positive potential difference. So the charge that is moving in that series combination is always constant. So we can say the charge flowing in the series combination, flowing in the circuit with series combination, is same அல்லது is constant. So on the charge அப்படின்றத we are taking it as Q or dQ. I am taking it as Q. But what will happen to the potential difference across each and every capacitor? Because we know that the capacitance C is equal to Q by V. In the series combination, the charge flowing through is same, but the potential difference varies. But potential difference across each and every capacitor or each capacitor is different. Why potential difference across each capacitor is different? Because they are of different value. See, C is equal to Q by V. C is C1, C2, C3. Q is constant. If C has to vary, means then potential should vary. So I am taking across C1, V1 is the potential difference. Across C2, V2 is the potential difference. And across C3, V3 be the potential difference. See, but the potential difference across each capacitor is different, since the value of the capacitance is also different. Value of capacitance varies. Value of capacitor, not capacitance. The value of the capacitor, what? The value of capacitor varies. So what is the value of the capacitor? Okay, I take like this. Capacitor, value of the capacitor varies. So I am writing like this. Let V1, V2 and V3 be the voltage or the potential difference across C1, C2 and C3 respectively. Understood? Now, what is the total potential that was being given here? The total potential given is V. That a total potential V is separated as V1, V2, V3 across the capacitances. So I am writing, therefore, V equal to V1 plus, okay, I can write V equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Okay, what is V1? We know that C is equal to Q by V. Therefore, V can be written as Q by C. I am in need of V1. What is V1? V1 is Q is constant divided by C1. What is V2? Q constant for Q by C2. What is V3? We can write it out as Q divided by C3. Then what is V? Total charges, total potential is total charge Q by total capacitance. Total capacitance means the capacitances are connected in series. So effective capacitance, I'm writing the total capacitance as CS. Okay, we can write V1 is equal to Q by C1, V2 equal to Q by C2, V3 equal to Q by C3. So total potential is total charge divided by total capacitance. Total charge is constant, that is Q, but total capacitance is sum of or the effective value of the combination, that I am taking it as CS. You take this and substitute in this equation. Therefore, instead of V, I can write Q by CS is equal to, instead of V1, I can write Q by C1, then Q by C2, then Q by C3. How I can simplify this? I can simplify like this. Q by CS is equal to, taking Q common, 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. So this Q and this Q will get cancelled. So I can write 1 by CS is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. So how I can define the value of the effective capacitance in series combination? I am not getting CS, I am getting 1 by CS. So how I can define? When you are connecting the capacitors in series, then the reciprocal of effective capacitance is, isn't it, 1 by CS. The reciprocal of effective capacitance in series is equal to sum of the reciprocal of individual capacitances. So how I can define? When the capacitors are connected in series, when the capacitors are connected in series, what we have calculated, 1 by CS. So I am defining the reciprocal of, I am saying like this, the reciprocal of effective capacitance, the reciprocal of effective capacitance is equal to the sum of the reciprocal of individual capacitances, sum of the reciprocal of individual capacitances. See here, CS is found to be, if you are calculating CS, that is you have to take reciprocal, from 1 by CS, if you are calculating CS, CS is found to be less than the least value of the capacitances, in series combination. Another we can say CS is found to be less than the least value of the capacitance in the series combination or in the combination. Are you able to understand what I have told here? This is called to be series combination.